In this video, I share tips on how to prepare for and survive floods. Let's get to it. I have been reading a lot about floods this year, and boy did we have a lot of them. And no, this video is not late. Yes, this year's monsoon has come and gone, which gives you a full year to prepare yourself for the next one. Let's start by defining a flood. During normal rainfall, water is absorbed by the soil and vegetation, and some disappear through evaporation. The remainder, known as runoff, flows into the streams and rivers. Under normal conditions, streams and rivers can absorb extra capacity. When the rain is particularly severe and continuous, the water level rises. Rivers, lakes, and streams burst their banks and the water overflows onto the land around it. This is called a fluvial flood. A coastal flood occurs in places near the coast and are caused by the combination of a severe storm and high tides. A flash flood occurs anywhere there is an intense rainfall over a short period of time.
Oh crap, Peter, it's a flash flood!
In modern times, climate change plays a role in floods. Climate change has intensified precipitation, resulting in more severe flash floods. In urban spaces, natural earth drainage is scarce due to the tarmac roads, car parks, buildings, malls, you name it. So the water has nowhere to settle and be absorbed into the ground. The city's drainage are designed for a reasonable capacity of water, but often cannot cope with the volume of water from continuous rain over a long period of time. And that's because there's not enough time for the drainage to take place. Sometimes in a storm, leaves and mud blocks the drains, which makes the problem worse. So how do you prepare for a flood? Well, the first step is to watch out for flood warnings on the news, internet, TV.
A flash flood warning is in effect as rain continues to pound Rhode Island.
Has your area been flooded before? It might happen again. And if you live in hilly areas, there are chances of landslides, that is, water coursing down the hill. Okay, so a warning is issued. Now, if you live in an individual house like a bungalow or a villa, give yourself plenty of time to move valuables from a lower floor to a higher floor. Also, make sure you know how to turn off the main energy supplies, including electricity and gas. Now, this may sound trivial, but we did lose someone this year due to an electrocution. Next, prepare emergency supplies in a safe part of the house. Make sure to include torches, lamps, spare food, water, a radio. Well, nowadays a smartphone would do. And if you do have your smartphone in, make sure you have a power bank and of course the first aid kit. Now, if you live in an apartment building on a lower floor, go to your friend's place in a higher floor or drive uphill. Speaking of driving, if flooding in your area is imminent, do not drive. But if you absolutely must drive, remember, this is not the time to showcase your stunts. Drive slow. Don't drive through a water patch unless you know how deep it is. If your engine is swamped with water, it may cut out. If the water is too deep, the vehicle may start to float and you may be stranded. Cars can easily be swept away by flood water. Just 60 centimeters, that's 2 feet of water, is enough to push a car along. Now, if you know that the water level is not deep for your vehicle, drive slowly so that you don't create a bow wave and swamp the engine. Stop moving if a vehicle is coming the other way, as the wave effect from the other car may swamp your vehicle. Also, keep emergency equipment in your car like a blanket, jump start cables, windscreen wipers, tow rope, and a first aid kit. Now, if you are outside and are caught in a flood, or if a flood is imminent, make your way to a high ground as soon as possible. Don't try to wade through the flood. The current is likely to be too powerful and there may be dangerous objects floating around. Now, if you are indoors, you can use sandbags to seal your home. But remember, Sealing your home effectively from flooding will take time and will require early warning of the impending floods. Use these sandbags to block vital entrances to your house. Now, depending on the design of your house, you can block entryways. If sandbags cannot be bought, you can always fill bags with soil from the garden. Sandbags will slow down the ingress of water, but it's not a guaranteed watertight seal. At least 6 sandbags will be required to protect a standard door. If the flooding is too severe, plan an escape route to your roof. Lastly, invest in a dinghy. A dinghy is a rubber boat with oars. This is a good standby to move around the next day. In India, dinghies typically cost around 8,400 rupees to about 11,000 rupees. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are the tips that will help you prepare and survive floods. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comment section below. By the way, there are other episodes in this series where I share tips on how to survive earthquakes and fires, to name a few. So if you want to be notified when those episodes are up, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Well, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one.